Oh yeah. Another morning, another warm up. Are you ready? Are you ready? Hey, Weeping J, you are right at the gates. How's it going? Straight out the gates with Weeping J. It's impressive. Hey, what Amir? How's it going? What's up? Oh, can um, I'm all good, Weeping. Amir. I'll just do this just to be sure. 1 second. I don't want to be opening anything you shouldn't be seeing. Here, this is where I've taken one of them so far. It's not really where I want it to be, but it's getting where I want it to be. It's starting to have elements in there that I enjoy, but there is something that is bugging me, but minor things really. It reads well. There's some things I need to push, like the perspective is broken at places and so on. Like the computer desk is broken, the perspective is broken. I need to fix that. But hey, Didi, you're back. Welcome back. I was looking at your entries actually in Monday. I was looking through round 1 and round 2. It's really cool. Hey, Atsuki, how's it going? Good morning. Dr. Sheldon, what's up? Okay, so I'm open for suggestions of what I should draw today. What's the saying? The table is open? No, not the doors are open. I don't know. I'm open for suggestions. Hey, Slimpin' boys, you're back as well. What's with all the old? The people used to be here are coming back today. Well, I'm not complaining. I'm happily surprised. Welcome. Oh, really? DB. That's great. Not really oldies, Limpin' Boys, but I would say you're not one of the originals, but pretty close. Hey, Morphia, how's it going? DD, that's cool. That's great. That's the whole purpose of the Unreal Bjorn, to push yourself to new heights and learn new skills. And the fact that you're putting it in your portfolio, perfect. Yeah, so please give me fantasy-related topics. I'll do something. Butler of Infestation, that's pretty cool. The Frozen Lurker, that's nice. That's zombie territory right there. Something inspired from Dune, alright. Harkonnen. Elemental Critter. Elemental Critter, that's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time is actually, I got to start. So I will have to do, I'll roll it, and if there's 5 and 6, oh shit. The locksmith, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The locksmith. And Dune for the win. By the way, I don't think I've ever drawn anything Dune related, but I'm a massive fan of it. The Locksmith by Morphia. I can't help to read it as patwa. Fire. Like they say, more fire, more fire. D&D dice? Yeah, it's the D&D dice setup. Oh, really, Morphia? Well, that's pretty cool. Yes. Hey, Zalin, how's it going? What up? So, the locksmith. The locksmith. That's, I mean, locksmith is obviously a guy that can open locks, but also has keys, right? You call the locksmith to open doors. Okay, all right, all right. I have a picture in my mind of this kind of really tall, kind of lanky guy, but because he's opening doors all the time, he's too tall for them. He kind of is hunched over. How was that like? Yeah, more like that. And long, lanky guy, kind of, in my mind, he looked like a gravedigger. Gravedigger slash, what's that? What's that person that? Oh, Undertaker. Undertaker. Hey, Tefrem, how's it going? Not any Tefrem, but number 34. We're blessed. Hey, Miguel, how's it going? Exactly, make and break. Hey, Trinxus, how's it going? Or Trinxus, are you in Australia or are you back in the Baltics? Or if you are that person, I hope that you are. Otherwise, you are confused. You're in Estonia. All right, cool. Yeah. So the idea that I had is a maker and breaker of locks, right, or keys. Locksmith. Because if you're locked out of your home, you call the locksmith, right, and the locksmith comes and opens the door for you. But you can also go and duplicate keys there and so on, right? So that's kind of, and I think maybe he should be, in my initial picture in my head, he wasn't a creature, but maybe he should be a creature. Maybe he, or is the tail too like fantastical? Yeah, I think it's too fantastical. Darlings. My darlings are good. The trip was fantastic, I must say. The workshop that I was lecturing at was also, I would say, one of their best, even though it was in a smaller scale. It was really, really good. It was less, I think, in terms of workshop, it was okay. In content and speakers, I think that the speakers were pretty cool. The other workshops that IFCC had done is really good, is better. But the mood and atmosphere was supreme at this one. Hey, Snowwalker, how's it going? Do any one of you, or does any one of you have any workshop plans for the rest of the year? I know that coming up August, September, I think is like the workshop madness, right? Everyone has their workshops now, more or less. Is anyone planning on going to a workshop? And how are you, Trinxus? I hope everything is fine with you. So in my mind, this locksmith, he didn't have a shirt on, but he had a hat on, like a cowl of sorts. And in my imagination, the way I saw him as an undertaker, gravedigger type character, that he's dirty, he's messy, he's probably the picture that came into my mind when I analyzed the picture, that he's most likely an old criminal. You know, so the idea that he doesn't have a shirt, I guess my mind concluded that he's a little bit of a wild card, not a formal locksmith, but you know, the locksmith that gets the work done at the same time as he's scoping out scoping out your apartment while he's giving you the service of opening. That kind of locksmith. Didi, you're going to Lightbox? Oh, cool! I'm envious of you. I think Lightbox will be really nice. I would have loved to go to. I would have loved to have been invited to Lightbox. I have a hard time. Like I've said this before, but I have a hard time justifying going to workshops as an attendee. The biggest reason is my daughter is disabled, so it's like leaving my wife to deal with a lot of things. While I'm home, we can tag team the problems arising. So for me, it's always like it feels bad to leave her in that sense. But my only justification to go into workshops is if I'm invited as a speaker, then then for me it's not only fun, but it's work as well at the same time. So it feels like a little bit like, okay, they actually want me there rather than saying like bye. You're planning on fixing hundreds of LED signs in the city. Snowwalker, that sounds pretty crazy. One second. I'm back. But yeah, I think Lightbox will be really cool. I have no idea how they will set it up, but it seems like quite a show slash con, as in convention. I'm not really 100% sure of how they're gonna set it all up, but it seems like there's thousands of people going. I think 8,000 in total, if I'm not mistaken, which is astronomical numbers. But then I am thinking logistically, how does that even, how are they planning on doing that many people as a workshop? Granted, it's not a workshop, it's an expo. So I am assuming it's a massive hall with everyone in it, like a Comic-Con, you know? Didi, yeah, exactly. Miguel, those numbers are indeed dizzying. It's crazy amount of people. But I don't think it's workshop. It's an expo, like I said. So, but I mean, 8,000. How many? Do anyone know how many people are going to Comic Con? It's got to be those numbers as well, or if not even more. You don't think they've sold out? I mean, they are pushing it quite a lot. Oh, in their own wing. All right, that's pretty cool. So they will be doing demos and speakers and things. That's pretty cool. I mean, like I said, I'm very envious and I'm very excited about seeing what they will do with the market. It's not often anything like that is done for artists to that scale. I mean, sure, Comic Con. That's a lot of comic artists and illustrators, right? But in this instance, it's like concept artists, VFX artists, speakers, teachers, or instructors, or whatever, however you want to label. Which is, it sounds fantastic for me. The question is if it's gonna have like a mass appeal, like Comic Con has. I think there's a huge amount of people going to Comic Con that are not artists, that are just digging the culture of it. And with that, I think that's a problem with most things. So funny, I had this part of my lecture at the IFCC about I had all these kind of theory slides I never touched on because I just talked about my journey as an artist and not the theory, not really how I connected it with art direction. There was a whole section about art direction in the talk that I didn't even touch. But a part of that talk that I didn't do was about kind of mass market appeal and where you should position yourself in whatever creativity or creative thing you do. It's all about like how people can relate to a new idea, right? The kind of the alien aspect of something that they never seen before, they can't relate to, except if you package it in a deal where it's relatable. So I went to that to those steps in my mind there, where with Lightbox Expo, thinking, does it have that mass appeal that quote unquote normal person would be interested in in going and having a look. I mean, that's what they most likely aim for in the end, because I doubt 8,000 artists. That there will be 8,000 artists in total that'll go to that workshop, like this Puritan heaven of 8,000 concept artists. You know, I doubt that will be the case. So they gotta broaden the appeal, I guess. Which just makes me think, you know, what combination of things have they implemented to make it interesting for the average Joe? I'm assuming they use names like a Disney animator, Pixar art director, or, you know, things like that. Slumpen, yeah, exactly. That's the whole idea, right? That's more or less the basis of creativity. It's not how crazy of an idea you can make, but how well it sits in the public eye, because artists are not the ones making the industry survive. It's the average Joe that likes what the artists are doing and supports them because the thing itself has appeal. I can get lost in the trade too much, I think. A lot of times I stop thinking about the average person and what they like and what is appealing. In a lot of what I do tends to be the kind of the for the artist. You know what, that might be working against me at times. But that's the interesting thing as well, is which I think is a learning curve for a lot of people. Is this whole one thing that I learned from working for Creative Assembly, Sega, was an interesting thing that was absolutely not art related, but their technology, they always evolved and revolved. So they made a new engine for one game, which took 3 years. Then they made another game on the same engine, but they made it better, and they improved it as much as they could within the R&D period that they had and shipping the game. So then the next third game that they were going to make, they had already started making a new engine, so that the third game was completely done from scratch with a new engine, a new setup, you know. Which when I heard that, I was like, that's pretty smart. You know, it gives you the opportunity to improve on your flaws, and then after a third year or third product, you reset and restart and foundation up. You know, so as an artist, that was quite intriguing to think about. Like, how would you go about doing a project, for example, your personal IP or your personal project or your personal character? You, in my mind, I was like, okay, you evolve or revolve. So obviously, at the creation period, you're evolving, but then you should redraw or maybe recreate it all, or a section of it, or an addition to it, using the same principles. And then maybe for the third project, you go back to zero and redo it with lessons learned, knowledge learned, skill set learned, and don't base it on what you've done before. I think that could be a great way of thinking in general, like year by year. So this year I'm gonna push skill sets. Next year I'm gonna refine skill set. You're just gonna be improving, removing, fine tuning the next year, and then you go, okay, next year, a year after that, that year is gonna be all about pushing, like exploring new, like foundation up changes. For me, that was very intriguing, and due to that, I stopped drawing every December. So come December, most of the December, I don't even start my computer. I don't touch a pen. I just stop doing art. So in my mind, what that does is that it allows me to revolve the information. I organize the information. I don't try to evolve my skill sets. I just revolve for a month. I just sit and think about what I've learned in the year. And then come January, like 13th January, I start working again. And then I instantly notice I've evolved mentally. Yeah, that's interesting, DVD and Slumpen. Like the whole, like they sponsored a lot of things, right? I wonder how much branding that will involve. I mean, obviously they are probably discussing that aspect, like how much, if Pixar and Disney are pushing like a lot of money into the project as a sponsor, like what's the presence there from them? This is like, welcome to Frozen, the Frozen Hall. Over here there is Bambi Hall. Hey, Failing Salad. Oof. Look at that. Number 3. Beautiful number 3. But yeah, I'm really excited about Lightbox Expo and what it will do to the industry. Miguel, yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. A big part of it is to catch up on games. Because for me, I've noticed that I sit, I'm in the trenches every day. I'm like grinding. I'm having to push process. I have to push approach constantly. Like this client needs to do it this way. That client needs to do it that way, and I don't never have time to breathe. Right. So I noticed that if I don't work anything, I'm still learning. I'm still getting better because I have time to organize my thoughts and ponder. So in that sense, I try not to how to say it, distract myself too much in terms of not how to say it. I allow myself to think about it. I set time for me to question what I do, what process I do, and how I draw, and why I draw, and my kind of mentality about it, instead of like, oh, I don't need to work, I'm gonna play games, I'm gonna watch this movie, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. I do that as well, but I also make sure that I, in lack of a better word, meditate on the fact that I'm not working, and what have I learned, or whatever have I been thinking about in that year of work, right? So even though I'm not working, I am thinking about the stuff I've done, why I do it, what I should change, what I don't like about my work, what's the lessons I learned, and by doing that, and then kind of configuring, thinking about my process, and I kind of forge a new path when I start again. Hey, Rock Knight Studios. Oh, yeah, I sit like this at the mountaintop somewhere with my Wacom pen floating in front of me in total focus. Like, Rock Knight Studios. Well, I don't know what you've been watching or where you've been, but last week I was in Croatia. So I've been offline for a week, but prior to that, more of the same. Same old, same old. Drinks his inner peace, inner peace. But it's really, for me, when I started doing that, it really helped me. Like, it helped me to evolve as an artist. It helped me rationalize my thoughts and rationalize my approach to a lot of things. Usually, what you can notice is, as every year passes, and that's come to January, my personal art usually takes a turn, a different route. I start experimenting with other things. You can see it, like season 1 start, season 2 start, but now season 4 was in August, so it's a little bit different. It's not that clear anymore. But Trinks is, yeah, absolutely. I think everyone needs to step away from input a lot of the time. I think, like, the drawbacks of being connected all the time is that you're connected all the time. Like I said, I make sure I have time to ponder. That's the word I was looking for. To meditate on the fact. You know, I can totally see social media and constantly being at the computer and constantly being updated with Facebook and Instagram and whatever. It's the same thing that I do with art, but with life. You don't really have time to collect your thoughts. You don't really have time to question what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you're doing it. But because you're busy hustling, right? And what setting time aside for meditation, more it's not the woo woo type meditation, like, but calm reflection, uninterrupted reflection, I guess, is the better word than meditation. Where you can sit and think, is it really the smartest thing to do? What's the purpose of this? Does it add anything to my life? Things like that. what's the direction I want to go in. And I always find it very useful when you do that. So I have always set a specific time a year to do that, because I can't do, you know, it's a juggling act every day of everything at the same time. All the projects you gotta do, and all the kids you gotta take care of, and cook this, shop that, clean this, design that, help me with this, stream this, organize that. It's, you know, so come December, I just switch off. I just like, nope, nothing. I also organize my vacation around that. So most of my vacation I take in December, which allows me to not to worry about anything at all. Just sit and consider. I would recommend it. You try. Okay. Locksmith. The Locksmith. Rock Knight Studios. If you can quote me? What do you want to quote me on? Oh, step away from input? Yeah, quote away. Hey Bjork. Is it the new Bjork? In that case, hello. Welcome. Thank you very much, Morphia, for the topic. Let's add just a little bit of tone to this one. It's kind of nice. Nicer than Dead Gray. It is the new Bjork. Oh, fascinating. Awesome. Hey, Snowwalker. Well, it is something at least. It is something at least. Alright, so as per usual, I'm going to raid someone and then take us all there. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Hey, Marisa Rani. Unfortunately, you joined at the end of the stream. But come tomorrow, minus 30 minutes, and you will make it. Anyways, let's find person to raid. Jen's 30th birthday stream. Oh, someone is having a birthday. Then let's raid her. Marisa, yeah. Unfortunately, you joined at the very end. Anyways, thank you everyone for the subs. It's really appreciated. All the support is fantastic. Have a great day. Good night if you're that part of the world. See you guys tomorrow. We're going to raid Jen, the Fit Creator. And she has her 30th birthday. So let's make sure we give her some love. Anyways, bye everyone.